G'day folks, Wren here, and it is time for my Roll of Reads TBR. So, if you've been around for a bit, this background will look different. I'm currently in my house. If you don't know, the past 6 to 7 months, I've been building a house, and it's almost ready to move in. So I thought I would film out here with this lovely green background. I'm very excited. We'll see how this goes though, because it's very late. I don't know how the sun's gonna cope, so I should probably shut up and tell you what I'm gonna be reading. So, what is Roll of Reads? It is a readathon based off of a TBR game created by Mel from a book fiend named Mel. And it is happening all of March. So Mel has a lot of wonderful co-hosts in this round. I am one of them. It's a great time. There's some options this round to swap things with some host favorites, because there's a lot of hosts, a lot of favorites. It's just so many good books to read. Let's jump right on into it and see what the dice decided for me. Okay, so I have all my prompts set up. These are the other prompts. This is the punishments. This one is the rewards. This is a hard service where I will roll my d20. It will be hard to see, but hopefully it'll be good enough. This is my d8, which will determine how many rolls I have. So let's roll this one first. Two. Let's add to that. Okay, 4. I'll add those two together and I'll do 6. Alright, 6 rolls for the d20. Let's go for the first roll. It's 11. Goodreads Choice Award winner. Ooh, okay. Interesting. And I'll replace that. Okay, roll number 2. $14. Ooh, a pretty cover. Roll number 3. 5. Another readathon prompt. Ooh, okay, that could work. Alright, roll number 4. 13. Getting all the numbers very close together. Oh my god, this is amazing. LGBTQIA plus rep, love that. Right, 2 more to go. Number 2, randomize genre pick. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Alright, this is our last pick, so we'll see what happens here. And a 12. Nearly got every number on this line. Randomly select from library, KU, or Libby, etc. Okay. Now, for interest, just because I'm intrigued, gonna roll a d4. If it lands on a even number, I'm gonna pick a reward card. If it lands on an odd number, I'll pick up a punishment card and see what happens there. So let's give this one a roll. Yep, that is a number 3. So that is... add 2 rolls. Yep, I put my foot in that one. Okay, right, so 2 more. Oh, why did I do this? 3. Publish the year you were born. Oh, I have exactly one book for that. Okay. Alright. Last one. And that's number 19. Ooh, a mood read. Okay, interesting. So, as you can see, I don't know if I did an oops, but I definitely was just having too much fun playing the game. Because after my rolls, there were already, you know, good rolls. I was like, let's just do more. Because I didn't want to stop playing, so I just kept going. And then I ended up with 2 more rolls. So the first roll I got was a Goodreads Choice Award winner. I didn't want to choose any from 2023 because, ooh, that was not a good year. And I'm pretty sure the whole book community agrees. So I went back several years, but the book I chose for this was The Maid by Nita Prose. This matches my wall. So another thing I tried to do with this round is to pick books that I own. So I was able to get the audiobook for this as well, which just made it all the better. Do I know what it's about? Not really. Let's find out. Okay, so a maid named Molly is working at the Regency Grand Hotel, and she discovers the infamous guest, Mr. Black, is dead in one of the hotel rooms. And she's trying to figure out who done it. It's not a good explanation, I'll give you that. I'm very tired and my head hurts, but I'm getting through this because I meant to film this 3 days ago, so whoops. But this is just giving me all of the kind of like Rosemary and Thyme vibes. If you've watched that show, please come and talk to me because I'm now in a hyper focus of it. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's definitely a comfort show and I've needed that recently. So I kind of like the idea of workers being involved in solving crimes. So in Rosemary and Thyme, it's gardeners. In this one, it's a maid of a hotel going to solve a crime. I like the vibe of it. I doubt this will be as cozy as Rosemary and Thyme, but I don't know. I'm here for it. I've heard some good things. And I really want to get more into like mystery thrillers because they've always been a hit and a miss for me, and I hope this is a hit. So my next roll was a pretty cover. I went back and forth on this because, again, I wanted a book I owned and I wanted an audiobook. So I had a few options that I could have chosen, but I was like, at the end of the day, I should go with the prettiest cover out of my options. With that in mind, I chose The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schreifer. So this was kindly gifted to me by Liv from Endless Pages. Thank you so much. I can't wait to read this because Liv loved this book. And like, she was just talking about it so much when she read it and I was like, oh, I really need to get to that. And I can't wait to read this because it's gay. If you're new to my channel, you should know I want all the queer things all the time as a queer person myself. So what is this? 2 boys alone in space. I'm good. That's all I need to know. But what else is there? 2 sworn enemies are installed in the same spaceship. Ooh. Evidence indicates strangers have been aboard. The ship's operating system is voiced by his mother, and his handsome, brooding shipmate has barricaded himself away. I don't want to read anymore because that sounds amazing. Ooh, that sounds so good. I am so looking forward to this. So thank you so much, Liv, for gifting me this because, oh my god, I can't wait to read this. So next up was another readathon prompt. Now, there were a few readathons I could have chosen. So the readathon that I chose was actually a Patreon readathon from Gabby's Patreon. And she does a couple times a year, she does a readathon called Screaming in Colour, which is just you read books of a certain colour. This month's colour is yellow. So for that, I'm gonna pick Assassination Classroom Volume 1 by Yusi Matsui. It's very yellow and creepy face. I went back and forth about whether I ever wanted to pick this up because I just thought it looked very childish without knowing anything about it. But then I heard stuff about it and I was like, ooh, that sounds amazing. So it's literally about a classroom where kids are trying to kill their teacher, I believe. And like, they're like graded on how well they've attempted to kill the teacher. Something like that. I'm really looking forward to it because it sounds messed up but in a really fun way. And that's kind of my vibe. So the next prompt I got was LGBTQIA plus rep, which was amazing. I cannot believe I pulled that card. It was awesome. So what I chose for this was Killing Stalking Volume 2 by Coogie. Now it's very reflective because the plastic covering is still on it because I haven't opened it yet and I've been avoiding opening it because I know as soon as I open it, I want to read it. So this is a manhwa, which is a Korean like graphic novel art style thing. And this is incredibly messed up. Like, holy moly, you need to go like cleanse yourself after reading this because it's about two guys who are unstable and very bad people. This guy is obsessed with this other guy, so he breaks into his house for reasons. And when he's in the house, he goes down into the basement where he finds a girl naked, tied up, very much beaten and abused and all that awfulness. And then the other guy comes home and it's like, what? It's so disturbing. Oh my gosh. Like, don't read this. Because it's so messed up, but it's really addicting. I had so much fun reading the first one, and I'm just like, why? I don't know. But I'm gonna read this one. I really need to turn on the light. Alright, I'll turn on the light. Okay, you can actually see me now. Wow, I should have turned on the light a really long time ago. I'm so sorry. Decisions were made. So, the next card that I pulled was a random genre pick, and I've decided to swap this for a host favorite. So, I'd kind of already decided before I even started playing the game that I was gonna swap one of my picks for a host fave. And the book that I chose from the host fave is The Wicked King by Kay Ankrum. Now this was on Kaz's favorite, so thank you so much for putting that on your favorites because I'm desperate to read this. I have wanted to read this for so long, I've owned it for so long, but I keep putting it off for some reason. And then at the end of last year, Max borrowed this and he read it and it became like his favorite book of the year. So that just made me want to read it even more. And he's like, if you read anything in 2024, make it this. So I'll read this now. So this is, it's like this guy kind of losing his mind in a way, and the further he gets into losing his mind, the darker the pages become until they're like fully black, which is really, really interesting. I know it's queer in some way. I don't know how. So one of our main characters, so we have two main characters that are friends, but it says they've never lived in the same world, which is interesting. One of them starts having hallucinations. The friend of the guy who's having the hallucinations is like, I'll believe you because I think it'll help you. So maybe they both go into this kind of hallucination thing. I don't know, but Max loved it, and this is a pretty beloved book, so I'm really, really intrigued to read this one. So the next card that I pulled was a random library pick. So I could have either picked a random book from my library, from the Libby app, from any other like subscription services things that I have, any of that stuff. So I decided to go for my Libby app, and I was just gonna go for whichever one of my holds came in first. And I'm so glad that this worked out the way it did. So the first hold that came through, of which I had like 6, but the first one that came in was Fugitive Telemetry by Martha Wells, which is book 6 in the Murderbot Diaries series, which is one of my favorites. I love it so much. I just finished Network Effect, which was book 5, and I just want book 6 right now because of the way book 5 ended. I I just want to know what's gonna happen. Ooh, I'm so excited. But the Murderbot Diaries are about this part human, part robot being that calls itself Murderbot, and it is kind of tasked as kind of like being a bodyguard, but it has actually hacked itself, and it has gotten, I don't know, like more free will than the other of its kind. And like all it wants to do is just like watch its favorite TV shows instead of having to deal with human issues. And Murderbot is just the sassiest sass to ever sass. And it's amazing. It's so much fun. It's a really great sci-fi series, and I've loved every book that I've read. So this is where I then decided, let's do some more rolls. So I got my 2 extra rolls. So the first one that I got was a book published the year you were born. And as soon as I got this card, I was like, no, because I have exactly 1 book on my shelf that is from the year I was born. And it's like the only book I found from the year I was born, which is 1993, and it's the only one I found that I'm even mildly interested in. And that is Drawing Blood by Poppy Z. Bright. Ooh, sex, blood, and a haunted house. This is also queer, which is why I bought it, because it was like a queer book from the year I was born. Yes, please. So, a house in New Orleans. This guy finds the bodies of his family after his dad killed them. 20 years later, the house is abandoned. Trevor returns with his lover, Zach, determined to uncover what happened to his father and like why his dad killed his family. But in confronting the demonic forces that destroyed the family, Trevor unleashes a new terror and risks his life all over again. It does sound interesting. It is, oh, that writing is small. Like, it's not that small, but it's a little small. Also, I just realized how many swear words are on that 1 page. That's amazing. This is a graphic gothic tale of love, lust, and a haunted house of horror. That sounds amazing. So, looking forward to this. Honestly not sure if I will get to it in March, because me and physical reading, we're not friends. Then the last card that I got was a mood read, and I kind of struggled with like picking a book for this, and I know the point of a mood read is to not pick a book, it's to mood read. But I have been in the mood to read this book, and it just like, it felt right. So I'm gonna read Killing Stalking Volume 1. I did want to reread this before I read Volume 2 and continued on with the series, because it's been about a year since I read this, and I now own the first 3 volumes. I haven't actually read this in a physical form, I've read it online, so I did want to reread it, see how it worked with like a physical format, and I want to get back into this like depravity of this. So yeah, I'm gonna read this. Like, partway through March, someone might want to like send help. If I'm gonna be delving this deep into this series, you might need to check on me. So this is my stack for Roll of Reads. I think it's mostly doable. I mean, I have like some audiobooks, some manga and manhwa. Well, that's gonna be it for my TBR video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below if you are participating in Roll of Reads. Hopefully I'm gonna be hosting some sprints for it, because I'm probably gonna need all the help I can get. But I will also be trying to vlog the experience, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!